Before Correa lived in a $1.6 million house, he once lived in a small home in a fishing village. But even this small home was almost taken away by Hurricane George. So how did he get to where he is now, and what does his minimalist lifestyle look like? Let's go check it out together. We'll be revealing things like his shocking proposal to his wife, why he might become a fighter after retirement, how his hometown sacrificed to see him prosper, and lots more. Carlos Correa Jr. is a true giver whose humble upbringing has shaped who he is today. In September 22, 1994, in a small fishing village in Puerto Rico, bouncing baby boy who would later be named Carlos Javier Correa Jr. was born to his father, Carlos Correa Sr., and his mother, Sandoval Oppenheimer. A few years later, this child was introduced to baseball through his father, who was struggling with his wife to make ends meet for their family. Correa Sr. worked as a maintenance and construction officer and even cut grass. He was given the nickname 24/7, but he still had time every day to teach his son baseball. While Sandoval worked at a bottling company in a grocery shop, it is reported that they had even had to sell their food at some point during this tough period. And things were worse because the home the family lived in had been hit hard by Hurricane George in 1998, the same year. Correa's younger brother, Jean Carlos Correa, who was also a baseball player, was born. Another hurricane disaster in Puerto Rico years later became the reason why he opted out of visiting the White House in 2017. Remember the Houston Astros won the World Series? Well, like it was customary, they were supposed to visit the White House. However, Correa decided to not go to Washington, and it wasn't because he didn't like the president. He just had to send more relief materials to the victims of the natural disaster. For him, receiving calls from his people back home to thank him was a better celebration of his championship victory because, as he said, quote, "For me, there is nothing better than getting phone calls from people in my hometown thanking me, getting videos from the people in my hometown thanking me for all the help I've been providing." So instead of going to the White House to talk to the president about Puerto Rico when his team's celebration was going to be a distraction, he decided instead to send a plane packed full of supplies for the relief effort. He wasn't alone, as he had helped from his wife, Daniela, and other members of his family to finalize the whole shipment. This won't be the last time he would be coming to the aid of Puerto Ricans. He had sent 350,000 pounds of supplies and a donation worth $50,000 during the earthquake of 2020. His father must be proud, especially knowing what they had passed through because of the recurrent floods they faced while growing up, how others had also helped them in whatever small way they could, like the neighbor who had seen them playing catch one day and suggested that the young Correa be enrolled in the Pampers League. Correa was 5 years old at the time, and this move changed his life forever. Additionally, the Santa Isabel team that Correa had played his first serious baseball for donated the money they played on their canteen sales to sponsor his trip to Atlanta to play for the Rio Grande team that had recruited him. But that was not all. The citizens of Santa Isabel also organized charity softball tournaments to raise more money for the trip. Correa's mother, Sandoval, confirmed this when she said, "Parents stopped by and donated cases of soda, water, and chips, which we turned around and sold at the canteen. Little by little, we raised enough money to make the trip." And it was all worth it, for Correa helped the team win the tournament and come up with the MVP title. If it wasn't clear before why Correa is such a generous lad, it should be now. And aside from sending relief materials back home, Correa also looks out for his home country by representing them in international tournaments. He played in the World Baseball Classic in 2017 as a third baseman. He had made it to the 2017 All-World Baseball Classic with 9 RBIs, 10 runs, 3 home runs, and a .333 batting average. He's also not limited his charity works to Puerto Rico alone. The Carlos Correa Family Foundation is founded in 2019 by Correa Jr. and his family to provide financial support for children and their families battling cancer. They're also dedicated to supporting people hit by natural disasters and diseases. One very noteworthy instance was the donation of over $500,000 worth of equipment and hospital supplies to the medical facilities in Houston during the COVID-19 pandemic. His foundation has also been vital in helping alleviate the suffering of the victims of Hurricane Florence. Might seem like all he does is help people and make fans of baseball dazzle over plays such as this, while also getting spine-chilling ovations like this one. But he does have a life outside of sport and charity. According to WealthyGorilla.com, Carlos Correa has a net worth of $7 million. First time he became a millionaire was when he was just 17 years of age. He'd been drafted as the first overall pick by the Houston Astros and gotten a signing bonus of $4.8 million in 2012. And after receiving that money, the first thing he declared was he's going to do was pay off all the debts accrued by his father, stating that his reason for success was his father and his reason for being in this position also because of him. Now with the debts paid off, Correa's money only began to double with endorsement deals coming from top brands like Adidas and a perfume brand, a total salary earning of $26.84 million from the Houston Astros and more. But even with all this money, there's no record of him spending on too much luxury, as he has generally shown a minimalistic lifestyle, especially when it comes to his choice of house. He owns a 3-bedroom minimalist home in Houston, Texas. House is almost 4,000 square feet in terms of width, and he purchased it in 2017 just before the Astros won the World Series. The house is such a beauty even in its simplicity. There's a driveway with a simple gate that leads to a small garage and well-manicured lawns. At the back of the house lies a basketball court, a pool, and a spa. Close to the spa, there exists a serene patio with a fireplace and a TV set. But inside the house is even more beautiful. The master suite has its own fireplace, a sitting area with a marble-top center table, couches, and a balcony. Kitchen has stainless steel appliances, an island, and is built to serve meals. This kitchen also has its eyes fixed on a family room, which has a gas fireplace and a dining area. But as charming as this home is, the star outfielder has listed it for sale at an asking price of $1.6 million. He agreed to sell these days before he finally let the Houston Astros to sign with the Minnesota Twins. 3-year contract worth $105.3 million. This will give him an average yearly salary of $35.1 million, making him the highest paid infielder right now. As far as cars go, he was once given a brand new truck by Astros owner Jim Crane when he was 21 years old. Then there is this Gulf Coast Chevy and this glamorous BMW. What we do know is that if Correa were to retire today, he'd probably get a job in the media. He's someone who enjoys podcasting, even has a podcast show known as The Walkout with Lance McCullers, where they discuss about the game of combat sport and who their favorite fighters are for each game. Or if he doesn't do that, might even become a fighter himself. Isn't that why he was practicing here or right here with some beautiful woman? That beautiful woman, by the way, is his wife, Daniela Rodriguez, and she looks like she can whoop Correa's butt if given the chance. Rodriguez is a teacher who first came into the spotlight for winning the Miss Texas USA 2016. 1 year later, in 2017, Correa went down on one knee in the presence of thousands of fans after the Houston Astros beat the Dodgers 5-1 to clinch the 2017 World Series. Correa had said afterwards, "I was like, so we have a championship caliber team, so let me wait it out to see if we can be champions and do it at the big stage. So we were able to win the game, which was the first part of my day to accomplish, and then I was able to do it." They were married 2 years later in December 2019 at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Punta Cana. Their union is blessed with a son named Kylo, who joined them in 2019. Another important addition to this young family are 2 dogs, Groot and Rocket. These guys are actually one of the most featured aspects of Correa's Instagram page. But another powerful relationship that Correa has, which people don't get to talk about very much, is his bromance with Jose Altuve. Maybe we'll cover them some other day, but Altuve is definitely not happy to see him go, even though he wishes him all the luck in the world with his new team. If you enjoyed this video about Carlos Correa's minimalist lifestyle, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below, because we're sure you'll like that one too. See you there.